I'm not an ADHD expert, but I'm about as close as you can get to one without it all being one. Having studied the brain for like 20 years or read about it for like 20 years. I was diagnosed myself with ADHD when I was 7. And it was my first main interest in the brain, and part of the reason that I became interested in the brain. All right, there you go. That's my expertise. All right, so my mom wanted me to take a look at a book, and I was like, oh, it made me want to throw up. Taking on this new thing. And here's the thing. Depends on the severity of the ADHD, of course, but suppose that in a case like mine, I can handle between 1 and 3 things on my plate at any given time. And that can be anything. It can be getting to know people that are around me. It can be my social, just engagement. That can be one big thing on my plate. Another big thing could be the book that I'm trying to read. And then another big thing could be cooking meals every day. I don't know. That's about all I can handle. Which is why I don't cook meals every day. Which is why I have either snacks or I cook for the next few days. So if that's off my plate, I live by myself, so the social thing is off my plate. So typically what I'll have is maybe the book that I'm trying to read, the videos that I want to make, and then I have room for like one other very basic thing, which can be as basic as, if I'm not parked in a place that's particularly secluded, then that third thing is going to be me just having to, just other people. And in order to focus, we call it hyper focus with ADHD, but in order to focus, we need the thing on which we want to focus to basically be the only thing on our plate. Unfortunately, that's just how it works. Which is why you have a lot of ADHD people who, some of their best examples of focus are when they're playing video games, and they just spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours in this game, and they have no other thing calling their attention. Think of it this way. If for an ADHD brain, you have between 1 and 4 things that you can have, 1 and 5 things that you can have on your plate, know that every time there's a new demand, a new task, a new whatever, a new responsibility, a new stimulus, one of those motherfuckers is getting bumped. Because that's how ADHD works. ADHD, we aren't good at like, no. This is my plate, and I'm just gonna deflect everything else. So like, I tried to deflect the book by being like, right? But if this were to be assigned to me, that I needed to listen to this audiobook about cognitive behavioral therapy, then that's on the plate and something got bumped off. Okay, so I can work on this new thing. So every new thing that gets added, something else is getting bumped, and I can maybe work on that new thing if it's super easy. But if it's really involved, if I can't lock into it because I'm concerned that something else is going to come and bump this thing off, this thing I'm about to dig into, then I end up focusing on nothing, just watching my plate get filled and emptied, filled and emptied, filled and emptied, or just filled and it's just piling up, and I'm just like, oh, that's way more than 5. Okay, I'm getting in bed, kind of thing. It's not actually that's what I'm thinking or anything, but that's how it turns out. That's how it happens. So that's what I want to say. So if you have severe ADHD, by the way, and you're miserable in some 9 to 5, it's because you dumb fuck, you've been lying to yourself about like what your brain is good at. Your brain is really good at adapting to a new thing, but it'll involve forgetting the current thing. Your brain is really good at getting really, really, really fucking invested in a single thing. And here you are, maybe you're working some job, you got a family, and you're trying to juggle all this and hating yourself for not being able to do it. Hopefully, at least, you have a partner who understands like some basic things. Like, hey, if I'm ever being productive, don't interrupt me. Hey, don't, I'm not someone you can just be like, you know, oh, at some point today we'll do that. I'll come knock on your door when it's time. No, because then I won't be able to dig into this thing knowing that this is about to jump off my plate and you're about to replace it with something else. All right, does that make sense? Thank you.